Hey, Dreamscapers. So, little tiny floating whale, did you like this past Steven Baum?
Ooh.
That's good. I always try to get my opinions from stuffed animals. Alright, we're at the end. I'm sorry this episode came a couple days late. I'm busy. I do stuff. And here we go. The last episode of the Steven Baum 2. It is Chille, and the guys are looking for Lapis and Jasper, and they're searching the ocean. Fun fact about the ocean, it's rather big. So they can't seem to find them. So they've been working pretty hard, so they realize Steven is human, so he's kind of tired, so they decide to take him back to, get some rest, and he encourages the others to take some time off too, because even though they're gems, they can still, it'd be not a bad idea to, relax. And there's that really funny joke where you get to see the three of them close up, and they all look like they've been completely, it's the Monday morning after a con. They're just, really exhausted. So Garnet says, I'm going to keep looking. You two, Amethyst and Pearl, you two stay and have a slumber party with Steven, because he wants to do a slumber party. And so he teaches the gems, he teaches Pearl about sleeping. Amethyst pretty much has the sleeping thing down. So he sort of teaches her how to sleep, but falls asleep himself and starts dreaming, and he starts talking to Lapis through his dreams. At first he thinks it's part of the dream, and then he quickly realizes that maybe not, and Pearl actually agrees with this. She actually tells him, you're actually contacting him, you're actually contacting her through your dreams. Maybe we can find out where they are. And he makes another connection with her at the end, but she refuses to give that up, and she believes that this is her responsibility, her punishment, to keep Jasper in place. Essentially, they've been struggling and fighting in underwater all this time in the body of Malachite, with Lapis fighting to stay in control. I assume if she loses control, Jasper will either take over the fusion or break apart and come looking for Steven and the Crystal Gems, which I assume she went to murder them. At least that's, obvious. Anyway, he doesn't get the answer, and the episode ends with Garnet coming back and him confiding in them, and they're going to give it another shot. They're going to keep looking, but they do know that they're out there. It's a really good episode. It's one of those episodes that kind of gives you a simple premise, hey, this might be fun, but it gets right into something that the show does pretty well, and the show kind of has a great knack of leaving us with something ominous that's going to come back, and it's going to come back, and you don't know when. It's that other shoe that's going to drop, and that shoe is definitely in the form of Jasper and in Peridot in a previous episode, a couple episodes ago. And it has Lapis really struggling. She really does feel like she has nowhere else to go, nowhere else to do, and she feels regretful for the things she did in the previous appearances. So this is her way of making amends, is sort of still being a prisoner, but keeping someone else a prisoner, and suffering through her own little personal hell. And of course Steven wants to break her free of that. So outside of that, man, it's really interesting because you get to see some aspects of Steven and Pearl in the episode. Steven, of course, has a couple of dreams. The sitcom dream, I think, is my favorite. And, alright, get ready to watch a grown man analyze the shit out of 30 seconds of a cartoon. Steven's first dream is sort of a stereotypical kind of sitcom. It's in black and white, but it could be from any kind of, cheesy sitcom decade. Where he dreams of kind of a family sitcom. What's interesting is the house is sort of pulled back, and there's this black space around it. It looks like a TV set. And Pearl is his kind of stereotypical mom with mom jeans, and she looks adorable. And Amethyst is sort of his big sister, and Garnet is sort of his Fonzie in a way, with her own catchphrase. That's when it's a wonderful setup when we get to the first appearance of Lapis, and it's a nice, disturbing, like, left turn in that scene, which just the pacing of that is really well done, especially when she appears and water is flowing out her mouth and eyes, and it's kind of disturbing. One of the things that I think is really interesting is this might harken back to the previous episode where Steven feels a little left out when his dad and Connie are bonding over being humans, and he feels a little left out of that. And in this sort of sitcom-y world, he and the Crystal Gems have that sort of nuclear family that Connie was kind of lying about in an episode like Fusion Cuisine. And the gems are human. Pearl is human. Amethyst is human, and Garnet is human with 2 eyes. And it's interesting how he sees them. I mean, all the gems are kind of all the gems are his adopted mothers, and they all have the right to say that, and they all have the right to be his hero. But he subconsciously leans towards one for one of these roles, and it's interesting. And I enjoyed seeing the fact that subconsciously he does seem to latch onto Mother as the only mother he's really known. And his hero is Garnet, and he sees kind of Amethyst as a big sister, and it's a really short and sweet version of how he sees them. Also, we go to Pearl's dream, and Pearl in the episode has never really. It's possible she's never slept. Amethyst sometimes sleeps, but she does not, apparently, and she doesn't even know how to sit down and sleep, even though she's seen people sleep. So she eventually dreams, and that's a really lovely sight of her dreaming, her hologram coming out of her head of what she's dreaming and projecting her dreams out onto the ceiling. Actually, I've seen fan art do that, and it's kind of nice to actually see that come into the show, and it's just a beautiful imagery. And of course, the first thing she dreams about is being with Rose, and that sequence is adorable and sad and a little creepy because it turns horrifying for her. And just hearing her laugh so happily is almost, it's funny and sad at the same time, which is, I guess, I don't know, pretty typical moment for the show. I think really best explains it. For what maybe might, at first glance, might seem like a simple episode, I think is a really fascinating episode. It's a good character episode, and I love episodes that kind of build tension, and I think this is one of those episodes that does that. Because, this stuff with Jasper and Peridot, it ain't over, and it's only going to get worse because they're going to come back, and they're going to come back mad. So, pretty excited. That is the end of this week of Steven Baum episodes, and the good news is July is going to have one. I assume that Cartoon Network is going to be doing this week of new episodes for all their shows at least for the whole summer. I assume that's what they're going to be doing in July as well. So next week I think we have Clarence episodes, and then the episodes of something else in the first week of July, and I think it's the second week of July. Steven Universe comes back. So yeah, these hiatuses aren't that bad. Actually, they're basically taking the episodes they would have shown anyway during the summer and kind of just blocking them together. So I'll be doing, I think I'll probably be doing a countdown of Steven Universe maybe next week. I have a couple ideas in between breaks of what to do, so I hope to have something set up. I think next week I'm going to do a countdown of favorite episodes. I've been wanting to do that for a while, but the show came back much quicker than I expected. Alright, I think that's it for now. Hey, if you're digging the Floating Whale and Servo here, you can contact my wife, Lindsay. She's the camera person here, and she makes all sorts of crazy plush creations that you can commission or, buy what she has in her shop. I'll put the link below, as well as links of my Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. And you know, Facebook, Tumblr, you can keep up to date on things I do for the channel, things I write about, as well as, you know, my opinions on what's going on immediately. That's how this social network thing works. Anyway, till next time, push the button, Lindsay.